For every sneakerhead out there, Jordans are an absolute must, and these shoes have been fetching some of the best prices on the market, so collectors have created an income source from them. Buying new and reselling on the secondary market is the name of the game. But what are the best Jordan sneakers you can buy? Well, here are the top 10 Jordans of all time. Let's dive right into it, shall we? Number 10. Air Jordan Concord 11. It is the legendary Game 1 of the Eastern Conference semifinals, Chicago Bulls versus Orlando Magic. But something was different about Michael. Only 2 months had passed of his 17-month retirement, and he was back in the game. But this time, he wasn't wearing the iconic number 23. Instead, he walked on the court wearing the number 45. Our jaws dropped on the floor, as was everyone else's. And the sneakers he wore to go with the outfit? Well, that had to be the white Concord 11s. Aside from looking fresh as ever, one of the coolest things about them is the fact that the shoes actually had the number 45 printed on the sole of the shoes. While his entire team wore black sneakers, Jordan rocked the white. And since that fateful day, the Air Jordan Concord 11s have become one of the most iconic sneakers of all time. Back in 2000, Jordan did a retro release, and they did another one in 2011, plus a low-top edition released in 2014. Recently, these shoes were made available to the public with the iconic number 45 printed on the sole. How cool is that? Number 9. Air Jordan 3 Black Cement. The reason we've included the Air Jordan 3 Black Cement is because they're such a classic. The year was 1988. Michael Jordan had a dilemma. He didn't believe in the company, so he thought about leaving Nike and joining forces with another company. Luckily, a man by the name of Tinker Hatfield came along, and the rest, as they say, is history. Tinker has been responsible for designing the Air Jordan 3s through 15, which means he was the main guy behind the design. But none of the other models even came close to the Air Jordan 3 Black Cement. Even Jordan himself has said that this was one of his favorite shoes. Number 8. Air Jordan 6 Infrared. Michael Jordan stepped onto the court wearing the first ever black plus infrared interiation back in 1991. And this is the year the shoe was born. However, Jordan had done a great job at redesigning this 1991 classic to fit the modern world. They've kept all the beloved details of the older models. However, they went through some changes. We now have the infrared on the lace lock, the heel, and the midsole. And while we're at it, let's just marvel at how amazing the underside of the sole of the shoes actually is. Pure artistic design. Number 7. Air Jordan 4 UN DFTD. With only 72 pairs in the entire world, the Air Jordan Retro 4 Undefeated are one of the best shoes you can ever own. Because of its rarity, it's not uncommon to see these shoes go for around $25,000. The design inspiration for this shoe came from the flight concept. The scarce number of pairs were released back in 2005, and they were popular for the detachable shoe tongue. If you ever want to own one of these bad boys, the only way of getting them is through a raffle, or chopping someone's foot off, whichever comes easier. Number 6. Air Jordan 13 Low Golf White Midnight Navy. Now, this is not a shoe for the average wearer. It's actually a shoe that's been designed with one group of people in mind: golfers. Now, we know that Michael Jordan likes to spend his free time golfing, but we were kind of surprised to see Jason Day wearing a pair of Jordans during the British Open Championship. But it's true, these are just a few Jordan classics that lived through a makeover. The release date of this white golf sneaker with midnight navy elements has been August 18, 2017. As for the price tag, you are looking at pretty much the same amount as the other shoes, $200, and they're yours. Number 5. Air Jordan 5 Fire Red Retro OG White. It was the shoe that was supposed to be released on March 28th of 2020, but because of COVID-19 pandemic, there has been a change of plans. The actual release date is now April 25th. The retail price of these puppies is $200, even though it's one of the newer models. But if we remember correctly, the Air Jordan Fire Red 5 were released for the first time back in 1990, which means that 30 years later, people still crave this outstanding shoe. Here's why it's still a classic. The design is a classic leather white, with the black sole and the fiery red on the inside, and that 3M silver tongue, and of course, the netting on the side. And if you're looking for the logo, you will see the classic Nike logo embroidered on the back of the heel, as well as the red Jumpman on the silver tongue. Man, if you're looking for clean, this is clean. Number 4. Off-White Air Jordan for sale. If you're into a simple monochromatic cream-colored sneaker, you can't get any better than the Off-White Air Jordan for sale. And yes, this means that Jordan has done an amazing collaboration with Off-White, and they have now designed the cleanest shoe ever. Even though it was released just a few months ago, the design and the look earned it a spot on our list. It has the iconic Off-White branding, like the text behind the mesh on the inner foot, and the word Air in bold above the air cushion of the shoe. And of course, no Off-White shoe would be complete without a zip and tie and the rectangle chain. In recent news, Virgil Abloh, the CEO of Off-White, has signed a pair of these shoes and sold them for $100,000. And the money was donated to the Black Lives Matter campaign. Number 3. Jordan 1 Retro High Dior. The amount of craftsmanship that went into designing these shoes is just insane. Dior patterned their design with Kim Jones, and together with Air Jordan, they've managed to make a shoe that you can only find with price tags ranging from tens of thousands of dollars. One man even paid $22,000 to have one of these, which is pretty much insane. They stressed the importance of incorporating the Dior logo everywhere they could without making it seem too cheesy. And that's why we now have that iconic Nike swoosh filled with the Dior logo on the inside. And the sole is no different. The sky blue, transparent film on the bottom hides the giant Dior X Jordan logo, which just looks sick. And to show how far these guys were willing to take this, if you were to take apart this shoe and take out the sock lining, you will see the Dior logo printed underneath. This shows how obsessed these guys were with creating a shoe worthy of bearing the name. Oh, and we almost forgot. There's a metal Jordan logo accompanied with the Jordan and Dior collab logo. Number 2. Air Jordan 1 Travis Scott. When rapper Travis Scott released the Air Jordan 1, some have called it the best design that the silhouette has seen since it was invented. Why? Because it flipped all of the norms on its head. The first thing that you can notice right off the bat is the reversed logo. Then, you can't really forget about the clean trail-in inspired colorway of the shoe. The brown suede and the white leather complemented each other beautifully. But this is not where Travis Scott wanted to stop. He wanted to create a pair of shoes so iconic that they would complement the style of LaFlame himself. So he decided to spice things up. The pair of sneakers has a hidden stash pocket near the ankle, as well as his signature logo for the line of clothing, Cactus Jack. Some have called it the best collab Jordans have ever done. And the fact that they are even promoted on Fortnite shows you how much influence these shoes have had since their release. Number 1. Air Jordan 1 Black and Red. We couldn't leave them out of this list, even though we've had everything from Dior Jordan to Travis Scott Jordan. The most iconic Jordan were the Air Jordans 1. The first shoe that Michael Jordan ever released was the Air Jordan 1 in the iconic black and red color. The year was 1985, and the designer was Peter Moore. And back then, the retail price for these bad boys was only $65. Can you imagine buying a pair of Jordans for only $65 and they didn't look like trash? We sure can't. The pair that Michael Jordan wore to one of his games and were signed by the legend himself went for a jaw-dropping $560,000 at auction. While some people would rather buy a house, a wealthy businessman thought it would be lucrative to invest $500,000 in a pair of shoes that can only appreciate in value. And on that note, we end this video. But hey, which of these Jordans do you like the most? You can tell us in the comment section below. If you like more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of them. And as always, thanks for watching.